Three researchers, Jane Cultivate, Natalie Portman, Eric Selvig, Stellan Skarsgård, and Darcy Lewis, Kat Dennings, are in an all-wheel drive van in New Mexico and see a lightning storm create, and they head toward it. Jane is persuaded that she can anticipate the presence of Einstein-Rosen extension, or wormholes all in all. The van hits a man inside the frenzy, and they stop. It is a very much constructed light-haired man, semi-cognizant. In 965 promotion on the planet, the ice monsters visited Norway. They utilized the Tesseract and its boundless ability to attempt to change over Earth into a frozen, no-man's land. Asgardians followed with their armed forces and joined people in battling the ice monsters. A fight in 965 promotion between ice monsters and Asgardians begins on the planet. The Asgardians force the ice monsters to withdraw to their own home world. The Asgard win and assume control over the coffin of Old Winters, which contain the Tesseract, and return to their domain. The speaker is Odin Anthony Hopkins, conversing with his two children, one blonde, the other a more insightful dim-haired kid. Odin expresses the two of them are commendable, yet only one can be top dog. Odin says that a shrewd ruler never looks for war, however, is consistently prepared for it. Frigga, Renee Russo, is the mother to Thor and Loki. Years after the fact Asgard is commending, the blondie is currently the grown-up Thor, Chris Hemsworth, and he's becoming crowned sovereign. His sibling Loki, Tom Hiddleston, is envious. Before Odin can declare, there are gatecrashers in the protected rooms that hold the ice Goliath power coffin. An enormous destroyer robot kills the interlopers and makes all the difference. Analyzing the remaining parts, Odin appears to be unperturbed, yet Thor is furious and needs to go after the ice monsters. Odin orders Thor to remain down and says that he isn't the ruler yet. Thor assembles Loki and his companions, Volstagg, Beam Stevenson, Fandral, Josh Dallas, Hogan, Tadanobu Asano, and Sif, Jamie Alexander, and are moved to the ice monster planet, Jotunheim. Heimdall permits Thor and his companions to pass, as even he needs to know how the ice monsters moved beyond him to enter Asgard. Ruler Laufey, Colm Fury, insults the Asgardian legends, and a fight begins. Loki gets by, as ice can't contact him, and his skin becomes blue similarly as the skin shade of the other ice Goliaths. Laufey discharges a gigantic monster, and the Asgard make tracks. Odin shows up to make all the difference. He is sorry to Laufey and brings the gathering back home. Odin resents Thor and ousts him to Earth and strips him of his power. He likewise sends his sledge Mjolnir, saying no one but commendable can utilize it. Back in desert, Thor is forceful and Darcy tasers him and takes him to medical clinic. Jane is drawn to him. Thor escapes from the medical clinic. However, Jane again finds him and takes him with her. Thor is searching for his sledge and follows the reports of a satellite accident 50 miles away. Jane had every one of the information that proposes Thor went through a wormhole to show up on the planet, yet Specialist Coulson shows up and removes generally her hardware. The sledge is now under government insurance, who likewise take Jane's research notes. Thor assaults around evening time, however, is stifled when he can't lift the sledge. Back in Asgard, the three companions suspect Loki had something to do with Thor's expulsion. Loki acknowledges he is certainly not an unadulterated Asgard, and Odin had conceded he was taken from Jotunheim as a newborn child and raised as his own. Loki is confounded and furious as Odin falls into a state of extreme lethargy, Odin sleep, after being faced. Loki becomes acting lord. Specialist Coulson, Clark Gregg, questions Thor. Loki shows up and lets Thor know that Odin is dead, and he can't be taken back to Asgard. Eric tells Coulson that Thor is Jane's ex, and he is given up. Thor and Eric have a beverage, and Eric drops. Thor makes sense of his experience for Jane. Loki freezes the entrance watch Heimdall, Idris Elba, the all-powerful, all-hearing Asgardian guard of the Bifrost span, then, at that point, proceeds to meet Laufey. It was Loki that permitted the ice monsters into Asgard to go for the power coffin prior. He makes an arrangement with Laufey that he will give them access to Asgard in the future to kill Odin and have their coffin. Consequently, they will return home in harmony. Loki orders the destroyer to go to Earth and kill Thor. The Goliath robot shows up in the NM desert and starts shooting everything with an intensity beam. Thor and the three researchers endeavor to move everybody away securely. Thor goes up against the destroyer and requests that Loki abandon the people as a trade-off for himself. Loki can see and hear what is happening from Asgard. The destroyer gives Thor a horrible strike slap and sends him tumbling, clearly dead. Jane hurries to the body in tears. Nonetheless, Thor's magnanimous demonstration in safeguarding his companions demonstrates him qualified to buy use Mjolnir, which liberates itself from the pit and gets back to Thor's hand. Yet again, he is changed to full life and energy and fitted in his red cape and shield. He effectively overcomes the destroyer and attempts to get back to Asgard, promising Jane he will return. In Asgard, the ice monsters attack through the entrance, strolling past the frozen watchmen. Laufey goes to Odin's bedchamber and, as he gets ready to kill the Norse god, Loki kills Laufey to seem, by all accounts, to be the legend. Albeit Frozen Heimdall is cognizant and figures out how to break free. He takes Thor back to Asgard. Thor flies rapidly to battle the ice monsters. Loki goes to the Bifrost entry and gets it in a position to obliterate the ice planet domain. Thor attempts to stop him, and the two participate in battle. Thor immobilizes Loki with Mjolnir and begins to obliterate the entryway to stop the interaction. As everything disintegrates, the two siblings fall into space. However, Odin is there to hold Thor, who holds Loki's staff. Loki concedes rout and permits himself to fall into the vanishing Bifrost scaffold. Everything appears to have returned to ordinary on Asgard. Odin is miserable the way in which everything ended up. Thor pines for Jane, however, Heimdall guarantees him she is searching for him. Back on Earth, Jane is in another lab with new gear. In a post-credit scene, Selvig is taken to a S.H.I.E.L.D. office, where Scratch Rage opens a satchel and requests that he concentrate on a secretive block-molded object, which Fierceness says might hold untold power. An imperceptible Loki prompts Selvig to concur.